my testimony of the law of manifestation. What's up? This is Keith Kelfis with I Am Ability, and I'm driving right now in the dark, and I want to tell you my testimony of something really cool that's happening for you. I'm telling you this because I'm experiencing something really amazing happening in my life, and I really want to share it with you because I hope that maybe it'll bring you some insight or some value. And I want to see if you try it as well and then report back to me how it works. Do you ever have a passionate vision come through you or an idea? Like, oh my God, I have an idea for an invention. Well, whether you act on that idea or not, and you start, you take that inspirational moment, because inspiration comes from in spirit, and enthusiasm means the God within. So when you're inspired, you're in spirit. And if you put that into action, you can actually manifest things from the spiritual realm through your thoughts and then bring them into the physical and solidify them. That's how things are created. Well, how it works for me, and I have an example, is my brand called Marketing ROI. I started this brand called the Landscaping Employee Trap, then the Window Cleaning Blueprint, and then I Am Ability, and the Marketing ROI came to me last fall or sometime over the winter, and I was like, it just came to me, and I go, oh my God, Marketing ROI is going to be my next brand. And I run upstairs to my wife. I go, honey, my next brand is going to be called Marketing ROI. She goes, what the hell does that mean? And it wouldn't leave me. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to write a book about this, and it's going to become an online thing, and I'm going to launch an event, and it's going to become real, right? And the feeling was so strong that it just came out of me. And so I went and created and I'm not saying this thing is radically successful yet or anything, but I'm sharing the journey and the experience. So when this thing came through me, I went and I created a Gmail account for it, and it created all the things, and I started writing it all down and literally building it out of nothing. It started to kind of take on a life of its own. And I believe in seeding and threading and planting things and watering them, and then eventually they'll grow. It's almost like if you put out like a pot on the stove. Someone's like, well, why are you putting a pot on the stove? Well, because I'm going to put spaghetti sauce in it. I don't see any spaghetti sauce in that pot. That's because I haven't put the spaghetti sauce in it yet, right? It's like you preheat the oven, and our minds will stop us from creating or manifesting things. It's so weird how that happens. And I'm becoming obsessed with this process. If you're still awake, you're insane. I don't know what time it is where you're at, but it's past midnight here. I'm leaving my assistant's house, and she was helping to print up all the itinerary and all the banners, lanyards and name tags, and just organizing everything for the event. We've been going crazy preparing the event for the Marketing ROI live workshop that's happening this Saturday. There's going to be about 80 people there from all over the country that are flying or driving to be part of this event. And it's so weird to me because it just feels like I'm meant to do this. It feels so right that I'll have somewhere between $11,000 and $12,000 in ticket sales and all that before it's all done. And I've invested every single penny of it and then some directly back into the event. So I won't be making any money off of this event. I'll be losing money and probably about 200 hours of my time. Oh, what's up, Casey Lee? But on the back end, it will be all professionally filmed by a pro videographer, my friend Quentin Howell. The guy's amazing. and it'll be turned into an online digital product that people can buy and get value from, so that I'll make money later on off of it. But the real cool thing is that this is going to create value for not only the people that are going to be there, but for dozens, hundreds, and then eventually thousands of people are going to get value from this. And I was on the phone with Joshua Latimer the other night. He's like a leader in the kind of window cleaning, pressure washing, service, sales, automation business. The guy is basically like a famous entrepreneur. He said, "Why are you doing all this?" And I said, I started to cry on the phone with him. I said, because I have this burning white hot desire that's possessing me, that, you know, that it'll help change people's lives. And if I have this audience online that I can use to bring people together to create something powerful, that I can put a dent in reality for the better, then maybe 5 years from now, some guy will be down on his luck or depressed, and he will find this thing on the internet, and it'll turn his whole life around. Like, I'm thinking about the cataclysmic effect. Whoa. What the fuck? I'm driving on the freeway right now, and there was like a dead deer in the middle lane, and it was like literally split in half, blood all over the place, and I whizzed right past it like I'm going like 70 right now. That thing's gonna cause a car accident for sure. I already have a gut feeling people are already calling about it, and there's gonna be... Okay, I'm back. I don't know why my internet's cutting out. Okay, cool. I'm reading what you're saying. Okay, so when you have an inspiration that comes through you, I think if you act on it and you stay in that place like you're cresting and you're riding a wave, that's where happiness and fulfillment comes from, is when you are actively pursuing your dream. And it's interesting how the people around you will try to pull you down or cut you down. The negative people in your life who hold you down from doing that can get to you and drive you into giving up, into depression, into apathy. And it seems like every single time you try to chase your dream, one thing after another, after another, after another, after another, after another, after another is literally stopping you from doing it. And then you start questioning yourself. Am I a selfish person? Am I an asshole? Am I a bad person because I'm chasing my dream? Because there's a certain level of selfishness. Oh, you're going through this? There's a certain level of selfishness that you have to be comfortable with. It's interesting. When you get really dead certain about your purpose and you're present about it, and you break through that barrier of what I was just talking about, and it turns, and now people will actually start supporting it. You just have to be able to bust through that initial barrier. And another thing is, if you're doing something that you don't want to do anyways, like you're not happy doing it, I don't think you're ever going to break through that barrier. How are you going to be a high-level performer and be the best in the world at something you don't even like doing if you hate it? And if you try to force yourself to become better at something that you don't even like or you have no interest in, that's like abusive to yourself. So with other people, and it's just a role. And when we let go of that role or loosen our grip on it and then begin to just do what we love, you know. But hello, Angela Carlton. Preach. When we begin to do what we love, now here's the next objection. Well, I tried doing what I love and it doesn't make any fucking money. Back in 2000, all the way from 2005 till 2010, I was doing music constantly. I was obsessed with it, and I wasn't making any money at it, and I loved it so much. And I was angry all the time, like they say, just do what you love and the money will follow. I think that's a lot of bullshit. You have to find something that you love that also makes money. There has to be a monetary component tied to it, because we live in a world of commerce, a world that's dictated by money and commerce and all those things, and that can get gray really quickly. And Because when you do something for money, it feels like a grind. When you start doing it for the money, it's not fun anymore. And so I think to find that happy medium, I mean, I'm beginning to see, I'm not saying this is the truth, because I hope you do too. I think I'm going to be a millionaire one day. Like, but, and that doesn't really mean anything, but I think you'd be better off making just a good living doing something you love than doing something you hate and being a millionaire. Because if you hate it every day, and here's another thing, people encourage you, this whole age-old industrial age brainwashing. People say, like, it doesn't matter if you like it or not, you can make good money doing that. So we go and chase doing things that are because you can make good money, and it doesn't matter if you even like it or not. Like, that conversation never even comes up about do something you're passionate about, or find something that you want to do, that you'll be happy spending the greater hours of, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours a day doing something that you fucking hate doing just so you can make money or feed your family. Like, no. And then we're brainwashed that we can't have. For the first time in society, at least in our history, over the past, I don't know, 20 years, you can actually do something that you love, and you can actually make money at it and come home and have a happy family life, hopefully. And I think that if you do something that you love, it affects your family life, because now if you're happy at work, you're happy at home. It's all one and the same. If you hate what you do for a living, then you might hate. So that's another thing. I really like what Gary Vaynerchuk talks about, the side hustle. If you have your own side hustle that you do, even if it's just part-time, but it makes you happy, that's the one thing that keeps you going, Oh, there's one other thing I want to talk about. The things that come up and happen in life to you. The greatest people that we look up to, or maybe we compare ourselves to, or wish that we could be like, maybe they're going to funerals, their pets are dying, people they love are being diagnosed with diseases, they're going through mental anguish, struggles, spiritual conflict, all types of things. Like, they wake up and they put their shoes on the same way that we do, they wipe their ass the same way, they're no better than us. And there's something weird about our brains. We develop this egotistical type of facade in our head that they must somehow have a great life. But I don't think that that's true at all. I think maybe we're looking at people who are actively pursuing what they want to do, and they're pursuing their dreams and their passions, and they're making it work. We look at those qualities and attributes and say, wow, I want to chase what I want to do fearlessly. And I think that the truth is you're going to die one day. I'm going to die. We're all going to die. And living in regret is a horrible thing. So at what point do you upgrade your identity and just pull the trigger and just start doing shit differently? The neurons in your brain are fired in such a way that we're stuck in this groove of doing the same shit over and over and over and over and over. So we have to make drastic changes and start doing things to rewire the neurons in our brain, like Spencer Johnson, Who Moved My Cheese. We're so convinced that was just like a crumb of cheese, and we're like miserable doing it. And then you see somebody else who's just like swimming